Hello everyone and welcome back to the Forgotten City. In the last session, we ended up here in the bathhouse finally to chat with the priestess about what's been going on and realized that yes, as we thought, we are in fact in the underworld and everyone here is dead, it seems like. And we have a new goal, which is to confront Pluto. And to do so, we need to find a bunch of plaques, one of which we've already found, just chilling. But we have another 3 we need to find. And yes, there is lots to do. Lots and lots to do. So, first things first, we want to go and speak to Olivia, because we now have realized that we are in the underworld like she has. So she could do with some comforting. So let's go do that. See if she has any other insights for us, I guess. Whoa! Oh! Wait, that's... Oh man, I did not expect to take that much damage. I almost went through that wall. Can I, I'm very nervous suddenly about falling the rest of the way here. This isn't going to damage me, is it? No, we're fine, we're fine. That was a huge amount of damage. Okay, hello.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world.
Yes, we've heard you say this.
It does.
I figured it out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
Sure were. Sorry about that.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seemed cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
Go for it.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, and still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Alrighty. Cool.
Vote for Malleolus for a free drink at my tavern. Oh, you're here. And there's a light.
So, those ones we've done. And then, not interested, sorry. Is just going to annoy her, I guess.
Oh, I see. You prefer the company of men. Maybe you should go and make friends with Virgil instead. I take back what Let's just forget.
I'm looking for Kabash. Have you seen him? Ah, so she didn't give me gossip about that before.
Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with Georgius, whispering about some job.
Okay, we'll have to go see Georgius.
They kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing. And then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not.
All
All
right.
right. See ya.
Let's go speak to Georgius then. I'm learning people's names now. It's been long enough that I have got a pretty good idea of who is who. So, Georgius is the jovial one. Should be right around here.
Welcome to my humble store. Greetings. I'm Georgius.
Okay, I'm looking for Kabash, and I heard you were one of the last people to see him.
I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash.
You can trust me. We foreigners have to stick together, remember?
Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this, so please keep it to yourself. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the next day when I return, the food is missing.
How is that a problem?
The offering, it is symbolic, you see. It is never eaten. So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in. But do you know what I saw?
No idea.
Nothing. Nobody entered. And yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again.
Well, I'm off to the Temple of Demeter then. Where is it?
It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right.
Okie doke.
I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my heart to be responsible for 2 people disappearing. But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by such warnings, so just be careful, I beg you.
And one other thing.
My friend.
Do you know where I might find a Greek
And in a
plaque?
city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up.
You don't have
and I
any.
become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plaque you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Duli.
Oh, the
He
guy that's
cannot
locked
help
up.
it. Like a typical Roman,
But he
likes
says he didn't
shiny
do it.
things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter.
Okay, interesting,
I
interesting.
hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Interesting indeed. So, what do we want to do first? Let's go to the Demeter Temple, so it's just this one, right? Okay, yeah, this has seen better days. A Greek statue, probably of the goddess to whom the temple is dedicated. Perhaps a local Greek resident knows more about her. What's back here? Oh, Kabash. Painted Greek vase depicting some kind of battle. Hello? A Greek lyre played by being strummed with a plectrum. Love to strum my plectrum. A crumbling Greek sculpture of a woman. It's been here a long time. Okay. This seems very rickety. Where? Oh my god, hello. That is very blocky water droplets. Who are you? Are you not Kabash? Wait, what? Ah, plaque! A Greek plaque which translates to "the many shall suffer for the sins of the one." Is that not the one? Can I not take that? I guess not.
Come
Hey,
and
man.
join me by the fire. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
I'm Mr. Fudge.
It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
I'm looking for a plaque that was removed from the obelisk.
Ah, yes, that cursed thing. I know exactly where it is. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let
Okay.
us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Pluto, god of the underworld.
Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
Sure.
Wonderful. Then let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
I mean, it's a complex question.
You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. It is probably why I became a philosopher. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here with the Golden Rule, surely your struggle can only have become more difficult.
Yeah, sure. Because, like, obviously in some situations, right and wrong is very black and white, but in other situations, it's like, it is complicated depending on circumstance, you know?
Well, that's reassuring. And the truth is, you're not alone. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the Golden Rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
Of course. Well, whose version of right and wrong? Yeah, that's pretty key, because, like, a lot of people are doing things down here that seem wrong, but are not getting everyone killed.
That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
No.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet?
I mean, I suppose it's possible that there is one that hasn't been figured out yet, but I don't know.
After hundreds of years, and as many great thinkers dedicating their lives to these questions, what hope do we have if our best and brightest haven't been able to answer them?
Wait, I want to change
Good.
my answer.
Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow.
That didn't sound like
Would
what
you
you
say
wanted
you
to
know
hear.
the difference between right and wrong? You are an overthinker too, but if you...
That was good.
So to navigate... That isn't...
That one. There's more than one?
How can that be? Since they all have differences, it follows that in some cases they would offer different conclusions about what is right and wrong. If there is a correct moral code, then wouldn't it follow that only one can be the correct one?
The correct moral code depends on the laws and customs of whichever society you're in.
Ah, you know, I think you'd find an ally in Herodotus, the scribe from among my people who lived some 400 years ago. He told the story of a man named Darius, whose curiosity was piqued when he learned that a certain tribe had the practice of eating their dead.
Yeesh.
He asked some Greeks who burnt their dead, "What would it take for you to eat your dead?" Aghast, they replied, "Nothing." Then he asked the tribe who ate their dead, "What would it take for you to burn your dead?" "Nothing," they replied, equally aghast. From this, Herodotus concluded that custom is king, that right and wrong are merely local ideas which do not survive the journey from one tribe to another. I take it you're in agreement?
Sure.
Then let me ask you this. If you visited a tribe where they ate each other, copulated with the dead, and drank wine from cups made out of human skulls, would you still maintain that within such a tribe there is nothing wrong with such conduct?
I wouldn't, no, because I'm not from the tribe.
And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument.
So, what's your point?
My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
I mean...
Surely you would agree there are circumstances where an exception may be made.
Yeah,
such as
true.
where it is necessary for self-defense or to prevent a greater evil. For any rule, you can imagine there are countless situations in which that rule may be suspended, and those situations are impossible to codify. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
I agree.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions.
What's your story?
You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story.
I'm listening.
I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night, I found myself in a tavern, in an argument with a drunk mercenary.
And he killed you?
It became heated. He drew a gladius, and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny.
Interesting. Hades, Pluto, same thing.
They are one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto, but long before that, my people called him Hades.
Why can't you return to the surface?
My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again.
Yeah, fair. Do you not remember your name?
I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive.
Fair. Where's everyone else then? Have they just died?
I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away. Some from malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years.
How have you survived?
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients I need. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the Temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation, so I like to imagine arguments, where I argue both sides. But, like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner. As you wish.
Okay, so, do you know a way out?
Huh. If I did, would I be living like this?
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Did we not discuss it at length already? Oh, I see. You're toying with me. Ha!
Do you know where I can find that plaque then?
You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription.
That's the one.
It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you, if Kabash had not already taken it.
Damn you, Kabash. Where's he then?
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know.
Okay.
Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the Shrine of Persephone became the Shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans.
Fair enough. I'm with you.
However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, and it is the very thing you seek. An even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription.
Well, what did it say?
I had no idea until years later, when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any
The
of us
Greeks
imagined.
corrupted the Egyptians'
I think
heritage?
it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail.
What's in
There
there?
are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
Cool, cheers. Well, guess I'm
I
going
enjoyed
to head
our
off.
chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
Okie doke. Cool. Sculpture of an unknown Greek general, his helmet pulled up off his head. Right. Well then. What's over here? Like, the way to go is down there. This seems kind of one way. Let's not then. Let's not. Let's go that way.
Ah, you've returned.
I'm afraid I haven't really. Bathtub. A large tub that's been converted into an eccentric bed. Nice. Okay. Let's see how this goes. A friend of the philosopher. One of the friends he outlived. Wow, nice burial place. Just dumped him in the corner, did you? I meant to bring out the torch, but I may need the bow. I don't know. Is shit gonna get scary down here? This feels like a combat area. This is definitely giving me combat vibes. It seems to be locked from the other side. Oh god, what is this? Dark Souls? They love a good locked from the other side, don't they? Oh boy. Anything I should see around the edge? No. Okay. Down we go then. Okay, yeah, that is indeed combat. Thought as much. We have 40 odd arrows. Do not like that noise. Not what you'd call a big fan of that noise. Oh god, it's a lot of them. Motherfucker didn't warn me about this. How dare he? How dare he not mention that shit is fucked? Seems rude after the lovely convo we had. Huh. An Egyptian plaque which translates to the... Yeah, okay, so this is originally Egyptian then, not Greek, not Roman. Egyptian board game called Senet, the rules for which are long forgotten. Yeah, that's right. Fuck all of y'all. Huh. Oh, that's not the jump button. Huh. God damn it. It's so sensitive, like you just touch the control stick a tiny bit. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Wow. That's cool. Anubis, yeah. I'm not a noob, you're a noob. Got him. Wow. Very, very cool indeed. And I wonder if it goes back even further past the Egyptians. Hi. You alright there? I assume you're Kabash?
Stop. Do not come any closer. Who are you?
I'm Mr. Fudge.
I am Kabash. And let me guess, another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors.
Not what I had in mind, actually. Just looking for a plaque.
To what end?
I want to return it.
That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was planning to return it myself, but for now, I must remain. Here, take it, and restore the honor of Osiris.
Will do. Osiris, Lord of Silence. Was that... Is that like Lord of the Dead, Lord of Silence? Yeah, that was a little too easy.
Now, as for the other plaque.
Oh, the fourth plaque? You know about that?
Indeed, I have it right here.
God
I
damn it.
stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was.
He's not going to want to give me that one, is he?
You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it.
No.
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
How so?
I will tell you. But first, do you know what this place is?
The Duat?
Indeed. And I see you know our history. This is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story. And here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers. But instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld, they desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron. As if that desecration was not enough, they built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten.
Pretty shitty.
My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and this cycle began anew.
I'm guessing the fourth plaque is about a civilization before Egypt then, and saying that Egypt was also part of the cycle. So what's the problem with the plaque?
It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris's name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us, and that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this, I cannot accept. I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris once more.
Perhaps you're coping. What does the inscription say?
You will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris's name.
Please don't.
You are too late. It is done.
You motherfucker. Venture beneath the Egyptian underworld. Oh god. I wish you hadn't done that.
It could not have gone any other way. It was Osiris's will. Now, the thing of evil you sought is gone. Why are you still here?
What's your story?
I am from Rakotis, which you may know as Alexandria, the name of the city the Greeks built over it. I was a fisherman, like my father before me. Since the Romans had taken over from the Greeks, I took the opportunity to learn Latin and eventually traveled to Rome. When the fires broke out last year, I tried to help. I gathered terrified locals into my boat and led many of them to safety farther along the Tiber. On my 7th trip, a passenger demanded I wait for his brother. But we were full to almost sinking, and smoke was all around us. I told him his brother would have to save himself, and he tried to bribe me by placing a coin into my hand. When I refused, he drew a dagger and thrust it between my ribs.
What a tool.
I awoke on the banks of the river to a stranger wearing a ram headdress. He said his name was Kirti, and at the time, I simply thought him odd. It did not dawn on me until much later that he was the Kirti, the ram-headed ferryman described in the Book of the Dead.
Do you know a way out?
This is where I belong, as caretaker of the memories of my people. If our ways are to be remembered, it falls to me.
What do you think of the golden rule?
I think if someone is to break the golden rule, it will not be me. For I try to live as I always have by the command of the goddess Ma'at. Do to the doer to make him do. As for the punishment that will come from it, I finally understand why it has long been said among my people that gold is the skin of the gods.
What do you think is down there?
I do not know. What could possibly lie beneath the underworld? Perhaps it is infinite darkness. Perhaps it is the lair of Amit, the devourer of souls. All I know is, it would be unwise to venture down there.
And yet I must. Perhaps.
Most unwise.
Well, I'm off.
Good. Be gone from this place. Wait. You are planning to go down there.
Yep,
I see it in your eyes.
definitely.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness.
I'll find a way.
We shall see.
Oh boy. Are we literally just jumping then? Well, here goes nothing.